Hi guys! Today we're going to learn how to crochet a flower for embellish our pants. Okay? For that, first we're going to use these two wools, a dark brown wool and a yellow one. But now I'm going to begin crocheting with this one because this is darker. We can see too much when I crochet the different stitches. For that reason I'm going to begin with this one, but you have to crochet with the darker, okay? And we're going to use this needle of 2.5 millimeter. It's an aluminum needle. So we're going to begin crocheting a ring, okay? And then a slip knot in this way. Look, this is the slip knot. Now, for our first row, we're going to crochet 8 single crochet stitches around this ring, okay? So, we're going to begin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and finally 8 single crochet stitches. Now we're going to close it. And always when we close a row, we close with a slip stitch. So we're going to hold the first and the last single crochet stitch and we're going to crochet with both of them our slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to begin the second row. How? With a chain stitch. Now in this second row we're going to crochet 16 single crochet stitches, how? With 8 increases, okay? So remember that an increase is to crochet 2 single crochet stitches in a same point or stitch, okay? For that reason we're going to crochet 8 increases. That is the same thing to say that are going to be 16 single crochet stitches. So we're going to begin. This is our first point, so 1, and in the same point we're going to crochet another point in the same one, 2. This is our first increase. Now we need to crochet 7 more. Now this is the next stitch or point, so here I'm going to crochet the next single crochet stitch, 1, and in the same point I'm going to crochet the other one. This is our second increase. The next point is this one, so 1, and finally another one in the same point, 2. We're going to repeat that until we have 8 increases or 16 single crochet stitches. Now here I have already crocheted our 8 increases, okay? Now I have changed the color of the wool because we're going to work with a new color, the yellow one, okay? So we're going to crochet, or we're going to do a change of color, okay? For that, we're going to cut our brown thread or wool like this distance, okay? We're going to cut it, and now we're going to do the change of color. We're going to do it with the last slip stitch, okay? Here is it, and we're going to leave thread like this one, okay? Now we're going to crochet the final slip stitch. Here we're going to introduce the thread and we're going to join the new color in this way, look. And here I'm going to do the slip stitch in this way. Now you have to pull a little bit the thread and this one, the rest of the two wools. And now here we have already done the change of color. Now we're going to begin crocheting our petals, okay? We're going to crochet 8 petals and always with the same pattern. First we're going to crochet in the same point, here is it, our first point, 2 double crochet stitches, okay? Something important, if you want to lose the rest of the thread, you always have to put under the needle, this rest of the thread. Okay, so first this is going to be the first double crochet stitch. Remember, we put under the needle, okay, always that thread this way, 1 and 2. This is our first double crochet stitch. In the same point you're going to crochet another double crochet stitch, always under the rest of the thread of the needle. This is going to be our second double crochet stitch. Now we're going to crochet 4 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, and finally 4. And we're going to join the first and last chain stitch with a slip stitch, okay, in this way. And now we're going to crochet another 2 double crochet stitches in the same point, okay. This is going to be 1, remember, under, and a second double crochet stitches always in the same point. Look, so we crochet 4 double crochet stitches in a same point, okay, in this way. Now how we close the petal? In the next single crochet stitch we're going to crochet a slip stitch. Look, in this way. And here is it, our first petal. Always we begin with a chain stitch, we crochet 2 double crochet stitches, 4 chain stitches, we join the first and last chain stitch with a slip stitch, then 2 double crochet stitches, and all that in a same point. And finally we close the petal with a slip stitch, but in the next point, okay. We're going to repeat another time. Here a chain stitch, 2 double crochet stitches in the same point, 1 and 2, in this way, okay. Now 4 chain stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, we join it with a slip stitch in this way, and now we crochet 2 double crochet stitches in the same point, okay, 1 and finally 2. How we close it? With a slip stitch. Where? In the next point. Remember, the next point is here. Look, in this way. And we repeat that until we have 8 petals and 8 slip stitches. Here I have already crocheted all the petals, 8 petals, okay, in total. And now what we're going to do? The final slip stitch to close it, and we're going to do this. Look, we're going to cut the thread, we're going to pull out, and we're going to do 2 knots, okay, with our sew needle, okay, 2 knots in this way. Look, we're going to introduce the needle in this way, and we're going to do the 2 knots on the back, okay, here I'm going to do it. Look, we're going to do the number 1, the first knot, and now in the same point where we have done the first one, we're going to do the second, okay, in this way. And now we're going to cut it. And here, for example, the rest of this thread of the ring, we're going to do a knot, and we're going to cut the rest of the thread this way. And you can see that we have lost the thread that we leave when we crochet a change of color. This is the way that is going to see our flower. When we have already crocheted one flower, we're going to do two, okay, in the same way. Then we're going to join it, okay, in this way. We're going to sew around the circle, okay, and we're going to leave a small space for that pen, okay, in this way. We're going to use our sew needle. We're going to begin, but first we're going to do a knot, a small knot here, this way. Now we have like this amount of thread. Now we're going to begin joining both flowers, okay? We're going to introduce here around the circle, look, and here. We're going to continue moving around both flowers. Remember that we need to leave a small space, okay, for the pen. Look, in this way. Here is it. No. You have to introduce the pen The only thing that you have to do is to leave a small space, okay? When you are joining both circles, okay? In this way. And now that we have already finished it, we want to do one more, we're going to do the final knot, okay? How we do the final knot? Inside, okay? We're going to introduce the thread here. We're going to do 2 knots, okay? This is for be sure that it's not going to leave out the thread. Look, 1 and another one. In the same point that we have already done the knot, we do another one. And now we're going to cut it. And here is it, our flower.